Hi everyone, instead of my normal on-stream fishing video today, I wanted to change things up a little bit and show you what's inside my Tenkara pack. My Tenkara pouch, more specifically. This is the Simple Pack by Yona Packs. That's the pack itself. I'll talk more about it and about the things that I have inside of it right now. So this pack was actually sent to me by Marcelo, the guy who runs Yona Packs. And so I've been using it for the past few months, and I like it. I've actually, prior to that, I was using this pouch, which I made myself, and I actually made it basically as a copy of the Yona Packs pack. And by the way, forgive this this piece of Band-Aid here. That's covering up an ugly, one of those under nail blood blister things. So it looks better than what's underneath, I promise. But I've been using this for the past probably 2 or 3 months. Before that, I was using this for about a year and a half, I'd say. And they're pretty similar. The one that I made is just a little bit larger. And there are a couple other material differences, but both of these are made out of a material called X-Pack, which is a material that has this kind of diamond pattern in it. It's an abrasion-resistant material, and it's a waterproof material. They also have waterproof zippers. Both the one that I made and this one also have waterproof zippers. That, of course, does not mean that the pack itself is waterproof. Like, don't expect to put your phone in here and then go submerge it under the water, because the seams, all the sewing, that's not waterproof. That's not sealed. But if you get caught in a little downpour, it'll keep the things inside more or less mostly dry. So this pack comes in several different colors. And on the front here, there are some strips of 3/4 inch mil-spec webbing. Then on the side, there are little loops of elastic. So these stretch. These do not. There are 2 loops here. So a loop here and a loop here, and it's like that up here also. And on the side also, you have these stretchy loops. On the back of the pack is a large loop, so you can put this through the hip belt of your backpack with a couple of slick clips to help hold the pack up if you attach it to the shoulder straps of a backpack. So that's the pack itself. Let's dive into what we have on the outside here. These are my forceps on a little zinger. I think I found this zinger on a stream, actually. I have no idea what it is, but I like it because it's pretty small. These forceps, I love these. This is my second pair of these. I lost my first pair. These are the Streamworks micro forceps. These are 3.5 inch long forceps, and they have little cutting surface right here. They have little scissors right there. And so you can cut, tippet, or line with that without having to necessarily get the nippers out, which I also have. I have some nippers here. These are just generic, like $1 or $2 nippers from, sorry, is this out of focus here? These are just generic couple dollar nippers from, I think, AliExpress. These are not fancy at all, but they work well for me. On the outside of the pack here, there's this. Now this is made to make it easier to attach tippet. I keep my tippet in this little front pouch right here. What I think most people do, and what this is for, you slide your tippet on like that, and then you slide the cord lock back on, and so it keeps it like that. I never use this. I actually wish this were removable. I'm going to be cutting it off. I don't like having the tippet on the front here because it just gets in the way of everything else that you have on the front. And so I like to just keep this in here. I don't think this is necessary, but you might like it. And then rounding out the things I have attached to the outside, I have 2 of these. I make and sell these on flytyingyarn.com. These are ultralight fish counters. Every time you catch a fish, you move a bead down. And then when you get to 9 here, you move one of the uppermost beads down, and that's 10. So these are 10s, these are singles. I have a whole video about it if you want to learn more about this thing, but I'll put a link to these in the description. And I'll put links to all these things in the description. The counters, the pack itself, the nippers, if I can find a link for these, and also the forceps here. It just about does it on the outside, but I should probably mention how I use this. I guess I can move this out of the way also. So I switch up how I use this. Sometimes I have it on a little fanny pack, on a fishing fanny pack, and I just slide it on the hip belt of the fanny pack. But then other times I do attach it to the shoulder strap of a backpack, and that's when I use these here. These can just snap shut like that. So that's how I use the pack. I always have either a fanny pack or a backpack, usually a fanny pack and a backpack with me when I'm fishing. So I don't need to fit like everything in here. You're not going to fit obviously food and water in here. You're going to probably want something else if you're on the stream for more than, 15 minutes, but I do use this in conjunction with my other bags. So let's open it up. Actually, let me show you the tippet first. This is just Rio 5X tippet. I only use 5X tippet. And I use various brands. I'm not super partial to one brand over another, but most often I seem to be choosing Rio. Let's open it up here. First off, we have my little fly box. Again, I sell these on flytyingyarn.com. Just a little fly box that needs to be replenished right now. It's looking pretty sorry. Supplies are running low there. And then these are my lines. So I always have these 4 line cards. These are line cards that I bought from Dragontail, Tenkara. I think he has some now that are Dragontail branded. I like the Japanese ones more, but your mileage may vary. So I have 4 of these. 3 of them have 2 lines on them each. These 3 each have 2 lines on them, one on the front and one on the back. Then I've written on each one. So here I have a 13-foot line, and then on here I have an 11-foot line. So this is 11 and 13 feet, and I've done this by just folding these tabs down in opposite directions on opposite sides. So every other tab I'll fold to one side or the other. So this has the 11 and 13 foot line. This has the 7 and 9 foot line. This has the 15 and 12 foot line, and this one just currently has 1 on it. It is a 5-foot line. And this is the most compact and lightest way I've found to carry multiple lines with you. And I hate having the wrong line with me, and so I always just keep all of them in the pouch here. And this is all 3.5 level line. It's this stuff. This is from Nissin. I bought it from Dragontail Tenkara, I believe. It's all 3.5 level line, all orange. I don't take this with me. I just wanted to show that to you as the line that I use. And then I have another pair of forceps or hemostats or pliers or whatever you want to call them. I like these ones just because they're small and light and they're easy to use, but they're not very powerful. So I have these, first of all, as a backup, because I use these a lot, and I've lost a couple of them, and I don't like being without forceps, and so I'll always have a backup with me. I think these ones were like $13. These are just like generic fly shop $7 or $8 ones, no particular brand name with these. But I have a bigger version because I like being able to mash down barbs if I have a barbed fly with me. So if I'm on the road and I buy a fly somewhere, I can mash down the barb with this. These small ones don't mash barbs very well. And then I have extra tippet. I always have 2 forceps and I always have 2 spools of tippet. These are not things that you want to be without. From personal experience, I know that. I've run out of both of those or lost both of those on creek fishing trips before. Not fun. Again, 5X tippet. This is just some random brand. I think I got it from like Walmart or something. Or I don't know. I don't remember where I got that. I think that both of these are mono. Is that right? I don't believe these are fluorocarbon. I think these are both mono. And I tend to buy mono just because it it's more biodegradable. I mean, it's still like, you know, extruded plastic or whatever, so it's not gonna, you know, degrade in a week or two, but I believe mono does degrade better than fluorocarbon does, so that's why I use that in case I get my tippet stuck in a tree, which happens fairly often. And finally, I have this. This is a spare tip cap for a Tenkara rod, just kind of a generic one that can fit most of the rods that I fish with. Because again, I do lose things on the stream. I do lose tip caps, occasionally tip plugs. So I have one of these just to make sure I can get that rod back to the car without the various pieces of it flying around as I hike back through the forest. And I think that's it. So the pouch in here, give you a look at the inside. There is a little pocket right here, a little inside pocket right there, so you can stick your tippet or whatever on the inside, maybe your fishing license or a card or something like that, your ID. But that's it, basically. So let's load it back up. Let's put the extra tip cap plug in there, put the extra forceps back in there, put the lines back in there, and put the fly box back in there. So plenty of room. Sometimes I'll take another one of these if I'm doing like if I'm fishing some weird flies. I have another one of these that's full of weird flies just for me to make videos about, so I might toss that in here too. But that's basically it. I'll stick this back on the outside. And there you go. Hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Big thanks again to Marcelo for sending this to me. Head on over to yonapacks.com if you want to check out one of these for yourself. I'll probably continue to use this, even though I do like the size of this one a little bit better. I can sew, obviously, and I have lots of materials and stuff, but this is sewn better than what I do. There is one little thing that I noticed here. I don't know if you can see this, but the stitching on top there has broken. So, and that's after a few months, maybe after a year or two, we might see more seam rippage or broken lines of stitching, but I think it's fine. Not a big deal. Stuff happens. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.